Um, all right. So then you got involved in the anti-racism stuff. You had a great story about kind of how that came about.
Yeah. So I finished my meditation teacher training in April of 2016. And I don't know how much you've delved into the world of wellness, but it tends to be very white in the United States. And it also tends to be very like, uh, potentially focus too much on positivity and potentially not paying attention to the world
Okay.
around, and being realistic about what's happening in my life might be different from what's happening in your life. So I wrote a blog post after the 2016 election, and a friend reached from my like meditation teacher self. I was like, oh, I'm being so wise. I'm sharing, and and it was basically titled, "We're all going to be okay, I promise."
Hmm.
And I proceed to like describe how. And then a friend reached out and she said, I thought you might want to read this since you're coming from a place of presumed authority. And it was an article written by a Black man called "Dear White People, Please Stop Telling Us It's going to be okay." And she said, I think your post is really privileged. You may want to read this.
Hmm.
And I was like, what? No, like defensive and, angry.
Yeah.
And this is the sort of the end of my friendship with this woman after like a very long teetering demise of this friendship. And so I was not like super receptive, but I ultimately realized I don't want to be whatever it is that she says I'm being. I did read the article. And so I just started reading and doing my own personal exploration of it, which is earlier than some white people have done it, but like still it was 6 years ago. It wasn't like I've been doing this. I always thought that I was doing right, but I
Yeah.
realized that there was so much that I was missing and didn't understand. And so that's what started the journey. And then I eventually went on, I never thought I'd be doing it professionally in any way. And then I went on an allyship training in early 2019 and started putting the pieces together that I have learned a lot about my own place in this world in
Hmm.
terms of race. And it's been really hard. And I've used tools to help me process that.
Yeah.
And maybe I can do that. That's how I can contribute in my own little way, in my lane. Because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to go to Capitol Hill to get things changed. And I have a certain skill set. And so I realized I could help teach other people how to use these tools so they can engage in equity work in a really meaningful way that is not causing harm, and it's actually contributing rather than maybe doing more harm than good.